My faith story this morning is based on an incident at our local subway where Carolyn and Mackenzie and I went one fine spring afternoon for lunch. We ordered our 6-inch sandwiches, chips, cookies, and drinks, and sat down, but had not quite finished when a man burst into the store with a small black pistol, demanding our money and cell phones. The poor girl behind the counter was apologizing hysterically as he herded us to the back of the shop. Obviously, we were dissatisfied with our response. He threatened to shoot someone unless we were more forthcoming with loot. For some reason, he placed himself at right angles to me, like this, rather than straight on, with his gun in his left hand, which was the side nearest me. I made a snap decision and reached out, grabbed his arm to disarm him. Carolyn says that we struggled for over a minute, but I failed in my efforts, and for one terrible moment thought that that was my end. I dropped to the floor, reaching for my wallet to give to him. He didn't shoot me, but as he was leaving the shop, he stomped on my right shoulder, and I cried out in pain because, as I subsequently learned, he had fractured the top three ribs on that side. We all got to our feet, and someone called an ambulance. My adrenaline must have been absolutely surging, because it was only then that I realized that my head was bleeding and that my left little finger, the last joint of it, was hanging down uselessly. Fortunately, a good doctor was able to make it function again, and so I was able to play the low bass notes in my piano. Now, I would imagine by now I've probably caught your attention, but what I really wanted to talk about was what the emergency technician said to me on the way to the hospital. He looked at me and said that he thought that the man upstairs must have had other plans for me. Of course, the robber might simply have been threatening us with an unloaded pistol, and in any case, I have always been skeptical of the idea that I had been saved by divine intervention. So many other people, as good as or better than I, had not been spared in similar situations. As Rabbi Harold Kushner says in his wonderful book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People, the wrong people suffer and the wrong people die. But if there was no divine intervention as such, perhaps there was a divine message. I have wondered if, in a sense, the E.T. was a divine messenger, with a message to be drawn from my experience, aside from the fact that perhaps it was not terribly clever of me to get in a tussle with someone half my age. In my defense, I'll say simply that he had threatened to shoot one of us. In addition, I may have experienced an atavistic desire prompted by the fact that I was the only male among his potential victims. The message might simply have been this: you have been spared. Make the most of your life. And I have remained, I hope, a good father and husband and a productive writer and editor. Eventually, I would make my way to St. Columba's, join the St. Columba's singers, and experience the epiphany that I described in my December 2019 faith story. I lived to have that skepticism-shaking experience, to come to love St. Columba's and the congregation, to play a small part in helping the church and keeping it vibrant during a plague-ridden year, and to tell you all this tale. I hope that it has been thought-provoking. Thank you, and God bless you all.